Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Nama Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Jaya Pataka Swaminiti Namine Namo Acharya Padaya Nitai Kripa Pradayine Gaur Katha Dhamadhaya Nagar Gramadhitarine Krishna Pristhaya Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे कथंचना स्मृते यस्मिन् दुष्करं सुकरं भवेत् विस्मृते विपरीतं स्यात् श्रीचैतन्या नमामि तं मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घायते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीनतारणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्य ईश्वरम् Hare Krishna. So this Hare Krishna. So it is very important that we pray to our lordships and the acharyas so that this very attempt of ours of going closer to Krishna can be successful. So whatever we are doing, we are just making an attempt by which we can get closer to Krishna step by step. And Krishna says himself that if we take one step towards him, Krishna takes 10 steps towards us. It's just that we feel that, oh, we have to do so much. This time I have to log into my phone or laptop, and I have to open the Zoom app, and I have to listen to the class. Oh, Krishna, I'm doing so much. But actually, this is the very little which we are doing. And even when we are doing so little, still Krishna is so merciful that he gives everything, whatever is necessary for us to get closer to him. So it's just that we need to take one step, and then Krishna takes 10 steps towards us. So we may be eager to reach Krishna, we may be eager to understand Krishna, to get back to Krishna, but Krishna is even more eager than us, so that we can come back to him and we can always remain happy. So this is what is the Krishna consciousness process. So although we may feel that, okay, I am doing my little to get back to Krishna, but just by doing this little, we are attracting Krishna. And then by the mercy of Krishna, the whole process becomes very easy. So whatever prayers we have chanted, it's just an invocation prayer, so that this attempt can be successful by the mercy of Krishna and the acharyas and Guru Maharaj and Srimad. Okay, so I'll share my screen. So anyone remembers what we were doing in the last class? You can put in the chat box.
Hare Krishna Mataji, you are on mute.
I'm really sorry. Thank you for reminding. Yeah, so it is very nice that you all remembered that last class we were discussing about pranamas, how we should offer pranama, and we discussed so many things that how important it is to offer pranam, and what is the proper way of offering pranam, and what are the things which we need to avoid by offering pranam. So we did that section in the last class. Now we will move forward to the next section of this lesson. Okay, so this is the section which we will doing first in today's class is the temple room etiquettes. So I want someone to read this quote. This Mataji you can read. Gita Mataji has raised her hand. Krishna Prabhuji, can you please unmute one of them so that they can read? I'm not able to hear anyone. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Gita Mataji. You can.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Temple room etiquette. Even a person who has never been able to give in charity, who has never been able to perform a great sacrifice, who has never been able to study the Vedas, who has never been able to worship the Lord, or in other words, even one who has never done any pious activities will become eligible to enter into the kingdom of God if he simply drinks the Charnamrita, which is kept in the temple. Nectar of Devotion, Chapter 9, Skanda Purana. Hare Krishna.
So, okay, now first of all, the question is, what is Charnamrit? Anyone knows what is Charnamrit? You can type in the chat box. I'm not getting any answers. Lord is part with the water. Yes, very nice, Mataji. Yes. So what is Charnamrit? First of all, we need to understand it. So when we do Abhishekam of the Lord, that water which goes through the transcendental body of the Lord, the Archa Vigraha form of the Lord, and it goes through the body, and while coming from the body, it comes along the Charana, the lotus feet of the Lord. So that water which touches the lotus feet of the Lord, or the spiritual master, when we are saying, it means Guru. Guru is someone who is practicing what Lord has said, who is practicing the injunctions of the scriptures as it is, and is also preaching. So that is a bona fide spiritual master. So that water which touches the lotus feet of the Lord or the spiritual master is known as Charnamrit. Now, whatever is in contact with the Lord, now because Lord is completely transcendental, he is spiritual, that thing also becomes completely spiritual, and the nature is non-different from the Lord himself. So it is an etiquette that whenever we go to temple, we should always take Charnamrita. So in Skanda Purana, it is mentioned that one who takes Charnamrit, even if he has not done any pious activity, he becomes eligible to enter into the kingdom of God if he simply drinks the Charnamrit which is kept in the temple. So Charnamrit is mentioned in the Agastya Samhita that if one has taken Charnamrit, like generally whenever we eat something in the temple or outside the temple, before entering the temple, we need to wash our hand, mouth, we have to do Achman before doing any service. But Charnamrit is so transcendentally potent that one need not do achman also. Even if, like, this is a general manners that we wash our hands and mouth, but even if one is not washing hand or mouth, then also that person is purified. That is the transcendental potency of Charnamrit. At the same time, it is mentioned in the Padma Purana that how if one takes Charnamrita, it can destroy even 1 million of sinful activities which have been done in many, many lifetimes just by taking Charnamrit once. But at the same time, we should be careful that whenever we are taking Charnamrit, that Charnamrit should not fall on the ground. It is said that when the Charnamrit falls down, and if someone steps over it, then that person gets a reaction of 8 million, 8 times 8 million sinful activities. So first temple etiquette is, when we go to the temple, we do pranam, right? And how we do pranam, that we had discussed in the last class. First, we offer our obeisances to Srila Prabhupada, then to spiritual master, then Srila Prabhupada, then the deities. Then the second etiquette is that we take Charnamrit. Whenever we are in the temple, we should not forget to take the Charnamrit. But at the same time, we should follow certain rules. Like for pranamas, we had rules that we don't offer obeisances when the Lord is sleeping or eating, or we should not circumambulate that time. And we should not offer obeisances just by one hand. We should use both our hands, and we should always offer with prayer. So there were certain rules. Similarly, with Charnamrit also there is a rule that it should not fall on the ground. Okay. Yeah. So the next is, okay, someone can read this paragraph. Hare Krishna, Nancy Mataji, you can read. Okay. Prabhuji, can you unmute?
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Jaya Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Lord Brahma tells Narada, "My dear Narada, anyone who puts on his neck the flower garland, which was formerly used by Krishna, becomes relieved from all disease and reactions to sinful activities, and gradually he is liberated from the contamination of matter." Nectar of Devotion, Chapter 9, Skanda Purana.
So, what is recommended here is that whenever we go to temple, or we should always take the remnants of the Lord. It can be like we discussed about Charnamrit, right? Then this is the Maha garland. This is the Prasadam garland. So whatever we take in the temple, which is associated with the Lord, is always purifying to us. It is very, very purifying. So here it is mentioned that one who takes the neck garland, one who puts the neck garland of the Lord on his body, is relieved from all diseases and reactions to sinful activities. Like if you will go around, then you will see that there are some fake babas, some fake sadhus, especially in places where there are so many temples. And what they do, they will just ask their disciples to make garland, and they will put that garland on themselves. But the general etiquette is that, according to scriptures, that we should put the garland only which is offered to Krishna as prasadam. We cannot use something like without offering it to Krishna. Like it is not an etiquette, especially in the temple. Like for pranamas, we have this etiquette that we should not offer pranam to spiritual master also in front of the deities. So the concept is that the deities, they are Archa Vigraha, they are the king, and we are the servants. So we cannot accept any service, any one of us. We always know that deities are the supreme, and every service should be offered to the deities. Similarly, we should not just wear some flowers or garlands which is not offered to Krishna. In spite of we will wear garland which is offered to Krishna, and then we are taking it as prasadam, and it relieves us from all the diseases and reactions to sinful activities, and it takes us out from the bodily conception of life. So when it is written here that that person is liberated from the contamination of matter, it means that, like, the basic teaching of Bhagavad Gita is that we are not this body, but we are spirit souls. Now, when we know that we are spirit souls, then only we will understand that we are part and parcel of Krishna, and our first business is to serve Krishna. So that very thing is very, very difficult. But the more we make contact with spiritual things, spiritual means whatever is related to Krishna. So the more we make contact with spiritual things, the more we are out of this contamination of matter, and more we are situated in our real self as spirit soul servant of Krishna. Okay. Now the third quotation we will read. Mataji, you can unmute someone. You can read this.
Yes, Mataji, Hare Krishna. Surabhi Mataji, Hare Krishna.
If someone sees the face of the Lord while Arati is going on, he can be relieved of all sinful reactions coming from many, many thousands and millions of years past. He is even excused from the killing of a Brahmana or similar prohibited activities. Hare Krishna.
HARIBOL. So wow, this is such a beautiful line that if we just observe, like you can see one thing, that Krishna consciousness is so easy and at the same time so blissful. We are just observing Krishna, who is all beautiful, and what is happening, we are getting rid of the millions and millions of sinful reactions which we have acquired from the past lifetimes. So when we see Krishna, because Krishna is all attractive and Krishna is all auspicious, whenever we see Krishna during Aarti, it brings purification in our heart, and that itself makes us freed from all the reactions. So what is the concept actually? When we are going, we are offering obeisances, we are taking Charnamrita, we are taking things which are offered to the Lord as Mahaprasada, like garland. We are taking darshan of the Lord. So what we are doing? We are just trying to associate with Krishna, and just by associating, we get so much purified, and all our sinful reaction gets away. Like even in pranamas, we had read that how if one person falls down like a stick and offered pranam to the Lord, all his sinful reactions also get out of the body, and when he stands up back, he is free from all these sinful reactions. So yes, this is also a temple room etiquette, that whenever there is aarti going, we should see at the lotus feet of the Lord. Like starting from the feet, we should go to the face. This is the general etiquette. We don't directly see Lord's face. We should always see Lord's lotus feet first, because that is the first thing where we can get shelter. So from the lotus feet, we go to the Lord's face, and when we see face, that is very, very purifying. Okay. Okay, so this is the last quote of temple room etiquette. Someone can read this.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, I can now see the screen. The temple room etiquette. Any devotee coming into the temple should always offer something to the deity: fruit, flowers, incenses, etc. If one cannot offer anything in cash, something else must be offered. In India, the system is that all the ladies and gentlemen who come in the morning to visit the temple bring so many things. Even one morsel of rice or one morsel of flour can be offered. Even a flower, a little fruit, a little water, whatever is possible must be offered. This is from Nectar of Devotion, chapter 9.
So much,
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna.
So this is a very basic etiquette. Like even if we will see at our home, our mothers especially, whenever they go to someone's house, they will take something, right? They will not go to someone's house, some relative's house, or some, any friend's house. They will not get. They will not go bare hand. They will take some fruits or sweets or flowers, something they will take for them. Or whoever comes also to our house, our mothers, they will offer them something. So this is a basic etiquette. This is a basic etiquette which is also mentioned in Nectar of Instructions. That how there is a relationship is formed when we exchange 6 things. What are the 6 things? That whenever we meet a devotee, we offer them gifts, and we also receive from them gifts. We offer them gifts, we receive from them gifts. These are 2. Then we offer them prasadam, and we also accept whatever they offer as prasadam. These are the 4. And then we open our heart to the devotee. And 6th is that we inquire confidentially. So these are the 6 things which are the loving, which builds up the loving exchanges between the devotees. So this is between the devotees. So just think about the Lord. So if we have to exchange love with the God, the same rule will follow, right? That whenever we should go, we always ask from Krishna, we always ask from the Lord that give me this, give me that, but we don't take something for the Lord. Actually, the principle is that whenever we are praying, we should always glorify the Lord, and we should ask for only one thing, that is Krishna's service. We should not ask for material things. But even if we have some desires, we can ask. But the best principle is that we always ask for the service of the Lord, because that is of the greatest benefit to me. I may not be understanding it now, but I know this is true and I should just practice it. So this is the basic principle, that whenever we go to the temple or any devotee's house also, we should always take something with us. It doesn't require money also. It may just be a flower, it may just be a fruit, it may just be little water, it may be just rice or dal or flour, atta, something, anything it can be, but it should be out of love. When Sudama, he went to Krishna, when he went to meet Krishna, he had nothing with him because he was very, very poor. He just had a morsel of chipped rice. Chipped rice, in Hindi it is known as chura. So he just had a morsel of chipped rice. And although he was very, very shy in taking that to Krishna, but he had nothing to offer to Krishna. He had just that a morsel of handful of chipped rice. So when he went to Krishna, he was so shy and he was so embarrassed. He was feeling so embarrassed to offer it also to Krishna. But Krishna, because he's Paramatma within all of us and he knows everything, he just knew that his friend Sudama has brought chipped rice, and he goes and he asks Sudama, what you are hiding from me, what you are hiding from me, and he was feeling so embarrassed how to give Krishna that chipped rice. And then Krishna goes and he just snatches away that chipped rice and he starts eating he started eating it, and he was just glorifying that chipped rice so much. So where it is mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam, this person, it is also mentioned that how Krishna accepts only love and devotion. Krishna is Bhavagrahi Janardhan. So whenever we are going to Krishna, we should take something, but also that should be taken with love and devotion. If we are offering lots and lots of gold and silver and diamonds, but that is not with devotion, that is just to show that, oh, I am so rich, I am offering Krishna so much of gold, that will not please Krishna. But if someone out of sincere love and devotion offers a little flower, offers some mangoes with love, Krishna will be so very pleased. And that should also be with it should be genuine also. Like, it should not be I am very rich, but I'll just get some flowers and I will offer. I'll not give Krishna. I'll not share I feel hesitant in giving something more for the service of Krishna. This should not. It should come from the genuine love and devotion. That is very important. So this is the 5th temple room etiquette. that we should not go bare hand, we should not go empty hand to the temple. We should always take something. It may be a flower, maybe a food, maybe water, anything, but we should take something to the Lord. So what all we learned? First is when we enter the temple, we should offer obeisances, pranamas. The rules and regulations we learned. Then we should accept Charnamrita. We should, whatever we are accepting in the temple, that should be as prasadam, like Maha Garland or whatever that Maha Garland we accept. Then we learned that how we should, whenever we go to the temple, we should offer something to Krishna. And and we should always see Krishna during the aarti, and we should take that darshan. We should not, our attention should not be here and there. In spite of, we will just see Krishna while aarti is going on. We will undergo so much of purification, and our attachment for Krishna will increase so much. Okay, so this was all about the temple room etiquettes. Now comes the next section about the dancing. Actually, I wanted to ask if anyone has any question, but I think after completing all this, we will have a common question answer session. Okay, so the next comes is dancing. So I know that many of you, if you have gone to ISKCON temples, you would have seen that there are kirtan going on, ecstatic kirtan, and everyone is dancing and dancing and dancing. So, like, what is the way to dance? Can we dance in any way? Or is there a proper way in which we can dance before the Lord? So, and why dancing is important? These are all, like, all of these need to be discussed. Okay. Okay, so someone can read this.
Yes. Hare Krishna Mataji, dancing. Regarding your question about dancing, the dancing should be done enthusiastically by raising the hands like Panchatattva. You can also dance enthusiastically by raising hands. All Lord Chaitanya's followers used to dance with raised hands. Srila Prabhupada, letter to Kirtanananda, Bombay 10 November 1975. Hare Krishna Mataji.
So, first of all, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he taught us that Sankirtan is the only way by which we can go back home, back to Godhead. Harinam Sankirtan is the is the yajna for this age of Kali. Now, while doing Harinam Sankirtan, we chant Krishna's name. We sing Hare Krishna Mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, and also we dance. Now, what is the importance of dancing? When we dance, we get out of the bodily concept. Generally, we are very hesitant to dance because we feel ki log kya sochenge, what other people will think of me. They will feel me that they will make fun of me. I don't know how to dance, or I feel very embarrassed to dance in front of everyone. So this we think generally because we are in the bodily concept. So when we are hearing kirtan and we are dancing, then we are getting out of the bodily concept. And we just know that we are dancing for the pleasure of the Lord. I don't know what Lord will feel. I'm just dancing for the pleasure of the Lord. So dancing is very, very important because it pleases the Lord. In fact, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and all his associates used to dance in the Harinam Sankirtan. When Prabhupada went to West, he taught everyone to dance, and he told that if you dance this way, it makes the Lord very happy. It is very nice. So dancing is very important. But at the same time, we should know the proper etiquette. We cannot go and we cannot dance like a rock show. We cannot like people dance in pubs and all. We cannot go and dance like that. There is a proper way of dancing. So what is that way? All of Lord Chaitanya's followers used to dance with raised hands. So like people dance, but how they dance with raised hands. So generally, whenever Harinam Sankirtan is going on, devotees, they will go to and fro, they will move to and fro, and with raised hands they will dance, or they will move their legs one this side, one that side, but hands will be raised. So this is the proper method of dancing. We cannot just go and dance like anything. So this picture, this is a very beautiful picture, which is showing Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, and all the associates. And how they are dancing? They are dancing with raised hands. So also there is significance when we are saying we should dance with the raised hand. What does this mean? When we raise our hand and chant, this means that I am completely surrendering to the Lord. So this raising hand, it means that I am surrendering. Just I'm your servant, Krishna. Just engage me in your service. So this raising of the hand is a sign of surrender. So yeah, so this is the way of dancing. Like, okay, we should dance. This is very pleasing to Krishna, but we should dance in the proper etiquette. And that is how, like Lord Chaitanya used to dance along with his associates. And how he used to dance? By raising his hand and moving to and fro and moving around, but raising the hand like that. So whenever you will go to the temple, you will see devotees dancing like that. And even Guru Maharaj and everyone, they appreciate so much this dancing. This was the second section of this lesson. Now we'll go to the third section, which is Pariprashnena. Okay. Okay.
Hare Krishna. One must submit questions with great regard for the speaker and the subject matter. Purport, Srimad Bhagavatam 115. Hare Krishna.
First is, we need to understand that what is Pariprashnena. So there is a verse in Bhagavad Gita Course, chapter 34th verse, which says that Tadviti Pranipadena Pariprashnena Sevaya Upadekshanti Te Jnanam Jnaninas Tattvadarshanaha. What does it mean? It means that we should, what is the way to become Tattva Darshana? How we can understand the transcendental topics? By surrendering to the spiritual master. Now, what does it mean to surrender? Is Pranipat, Pariprashan and Sevaya. Pranipat is when we approach spiritual master submissively and we surrender unto him and we accept whatever he says. Like it is like making ourselves a plain slate, and whatever spiritual master says, we just accept. We accept ourselves as full, and we accept whatever is spiritual master telling us truth. Also, we should not. It doesn't mean that we should not use our intelligence. We should become completely blind. It doesn't mean like that. We can always ask questions. But that inquiry, how it should be submissive. So that is known as Pariprashnena. So Pariprashnena is very, very important whenever we talk of Vaishnava etiquettes. Why? Because first of all, the thing is that Prabhupada has always told that one should ask questions, because one who is asking question, it shows that he has heard the class nicely and he's reading the subject matter nicely. And also it shows that that person is intelligent. Only an intelligent person can ask questions. Only one who is inquisitive, who is really interested can ask question. But at the same time, how that question should be asked is very important, and that we should that is a topic in Vaishnava etiquette, because that is that comes with Vaishnava etiquette. Now, how we should ask. So here it is. One quote is there that one must submit prayers with great regard for the speaker and the subject matter. What does this mean? Like when we can see that sometimes people will come to the temple and they will just ask questions in a very challenging spirit. They just want to know how much qualified the speaker is, how much the speaker knows, or they just want to show that the speaker is not much qualified. I am very much qualified. So this mood of asking question is not good. This is not good for spiritual advancement. So what should be the mood? The mood should be of great regard for the speaker and the subject matter. So how should we think? We should think that, okay, whatever I have been told, that is true. Whatever is being told is true. Now I am not able to understand this because of my low understanding, because I am not able to understand. I am not able to assimilate it. So let me ask a question. Let me make submissive inquiries so that I can understand it. So I know that speaker is telling right and the subject matter is right, but because of my little intelligence, I am not able to understand it. And with that mood of respect and reverence, we ask questions. So that is known as pariprashnina. That is questions made with in a proper mood. Okay, now we'll read the next one.
Manohar
Krishna
Prabhu.
Mataji. Hari Krishna. If you question just to examine his strength, that will create only fighting spirit. Srila Prabhupada lecture, September 14, 1969 in London. Hare Krishna.
So what we discussed, that questions should not be asked to examine someone's strength or just to challenge someone. That is a very wrong etiquette. That will only create fighting spirit. Like our whole aim is to go closer to Krishna. Whatever we are doing, we are just doing with one focus. How to love Krishna, how to serve Krishna, how to go closer to Krishna. Now, if we do these things, if we ask questions, fighting spirit, challenging spirit, that will not solve the purpose. So our mood should be proper. It should be pariprashnina. It should be submissive inquiries. Okay. Next.
Neha Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. If you bring so many other subject matter there, phone.
If you bring so many other subject matter, there will be no end. Srila Prabhupada lecture.
Yeah. So what Prabhupada is trying to tell is, like, if when class is going, Prabhupada wants everyone to read that class very, very sincerely. And if you have any doubts regarding the class, you should ask when you are told to ask questions. Like generally, when the class gets over, speakers are not paying attention to, those who are hearing the class, they're not paying attention sometimes. And when they're asked to ask questions, they will just ask questions from here and there, out of nowhere. So Prabhupada is telling that there are so many subject matter, there is no end. So you should ask the question related to what is spoken in the class. That is very important. That's why we will see that many times the speakers will tell that please ask questions related to the class only. In our Guru Maharaj's class also, it is always said that ask questions related to the class only. So we should always pay attention to the class. We should always be very sincerely attending the class. And whatever doubts we are having, we should ask submissively to the speaker. Not in a challenging mood, not in a fighting mood, not to test his strength. And we should not just ask just for asking. We should ask with a genuine, we should be very genuine in asking. It should not be like just, okay, this time asking like that. It should not be like that. So these all points come under pariprashnina. Okay, this is a very, very important quote. Someone can read this.
Uday Shankar Prabhuji, you can read.
Hare Krishna. Questions put by saintly person to another saintly person about the supreme personality of Godhead or about the ultimate goal of life, such are everything spiritually. Whoever takes advantage of such discussions is benefited both in this life and in the next. Purport, Srimad Bhagavatam 4:22, 19th verse. Hare Krishna.
So, in Srimad Bhagavatam, it is mentioned several times that these inquiries which is made in relation to the Supreme Lord, they are all auspicious. These inquiries are something which will do good for the entire universe, and everyone will be benefited both in this life and in the next. So it is very important that we make questions. In fact, in Bhagavad Gita also, when Arjuna is making so many questions to Krishna, Krishna is never telling that, no Arjuna, you cannot you cannot ask more questions from me. In fact, Krishna is encouraging that this question is very nice and this will bring good to everyone. So whatever question is made for inquiring about the supreme truth, the absolute truth, for the sake of self-realization, that is all auspicious. Even when sages were asking questions from Shukdev Goswami, Parishit Maharaj was asking questions from Shukdev Goswami, and sages of Naimisharanya was asking questions from Suta Goswami. Suta Goswami mentioned that how whatever you are questioning, that will bring peace to the entire universe, because these questions are all auspicious. So, like, this is the nature of the mankind. This is the nature of all the living entities, that they tend to ask questions. Like, they will ask questions related to politics, related to economic development, related to physics, science, mathematics, like this. There are so many questions everywhere. Everyone is asking questions, but those questions will not bring peace to the entire human society, entire society, both in this life and the next. Only the questions which are asked about the spiritual subject matters, which are going to take us closer to Krishna, are all auspicious, and they are so much beneficial for the entire universe. So Pariprashnena is very, very important. So everyone should make inquiries. How can I connect to Krishna? How can I know myself? How I am related to Krishna? How can I serve Krishna better? Like, all these questions, who am I? What is the purpose of my life? All these questions, they are very, very auspicious, and we should all have these questions in us. In fact, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has mentioned this, that one who is intelligent, only they can ask these questions. So whoever comes to Krishna consciousness and they practice sincerely by making submissive inquiries, are actually very, very intelligent. In Srimad Bhagavatam, there is a verse which is describing Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as Krishna Vainam Tisa Krishnam Sango Pangaste Parshadam Yagnehi Sankirtane Prayer Yajanti Suvedashaha. It states that Krishna will come in Kali Yuga, but his varna, his color will be Krishna. Means he will not be black, he will be golden in color. Sango Pangaste Parshadam. And what will be his so he will come with his associates. He will not come alone. He will come with his associates. So we have seen that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes with Nityananda Prabhu, with Advaita Acharya and Srivas Pandit and Gadadhar Pandit. So Sango Pangasta Parshadam Yagnehi Sankirtane Praya. Now what will be his weapon? His weapon will be Harinam Sankirtan. Like when Krishna came, his weapon was Sudarshan Chakra. When Ramachandra came, his weapon was Gandava, Dhanush. But when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came, his weapon is Harinam Sankirtan. So with Harinam Sankirtan, he kills the demon within. And Yajanti is Sumetasha. Who will worship him? Those who are very, very intelligent. Metasha is one who is intelligent. Sumetasha, one who is very intelligent. So one who is very intelligent will worship him. So this is mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam. So whoever takes to Krishna consciousness process very seriously and try to advance in it genuinely, they are actually very, very intelligent. Because these inquiries can also be made by only who is intelligent. So you all are intelligent because you have sincerely joined the class and you are trying to advance in Krishna consciousness. Okay, so I think the time is over. We have a very important segment of how to receive guests in Vaishnava culture and receiving guests, but that will require half an hour. And it is already 8, so I think we will stop here and we will discuss this segment in the next class. Now, whatever we have discussed, because last class we couldn't take much questions, so whatever we have discussed in the last class and today's class, if anyone has any question, You can please write in the chat box, or you can unmute you and you can ask. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna, Ananda Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Ask your question.
Hare Krishna.
Mataji, is there levels in Mahamantra? Japa?
Levels? Yeah,
Levels.
there are levels. There are 3 levels. One is offenseless chant. One is offensive chanting. Then there is offenseless chanting, and then there is pure transcendental chanting. So when we are very new to Krishna consciousness, when we are trying to understand, and we're just following what is told to us, that time when we are chanting, we are doing a lot of aparadhas. First of all, is we are very inattentive in chanting. Whenever we are chanting, we are thinking of so many other things. So that is also an offense. There are actually 10 offenses to holy name, which we may discuss in any of the classes. So whenever we start chanting, that is offensive chanting. But gradually, because chanting is all auspicious, while chanting and chanting and chanting, it brings purification in us, and our chanting start becoming offenseless. So that is the offenseless stage, when we are chanting without offenses. And gradually, when we are doing offenseless chanting, we develop taste for the chanting. Now that is the pure transcendental stage of chanting. So there are 3 stages. Am I clear, Mataji?
Yes, Mataji, but how do we learn this?
Mataji, you just have to chant sincerely. Like before chanting, it is always good that we read Sikshashtakam. And these are the prayers by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They are very, very sweet prayers. And we should also read the Dashaparad. What are the aparadhas we need to avoid, and we should try not to do those aparadhas. And we should keep on chanting.
Hello.
Hare Krishna, is it fine?
Hare Krishna Mataji. Actually, I think we lost you in between.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, can you please repeat the last few sentences? I think the network stopped. We couldn't hear you.
No, Mataji, actually, I had spoken whatever I was speaking in last that it is very important that we chant sincerely. We should try to read the Namaprad daily before chanting, and we should also try to read Sikshashtakam prayers. And gradually, by hearing and reading and chanting, our chanting will get purified. We should be very fixed up in the numbers we are chanting, and it will get purified, Mataji. I was telling this.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. I have a question related to the temple etiquette. So I was a little lost. So Mataji, when we visit temple, we get the garland sometimes, which is put on Krishna, right? So that garland, can we put it on ourselves?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
You should put it. It is very, very purifying. That we accept as Mahaprasadam, as remnant of Krishna, we take it in our body.
Okay. Thank you, Mataji. I just wanted to clarify that. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, after putting on the garland or whatever is given like that, it dries up. What do we do after that? Where do we keep it, or do we preserve it, or what is to be done after that, Mataji?
If you can preserve it, it's good, Mataji. But many times, fungus it will take it will be spoiled sometimes. So we just take that garland and we put it near a pot in the mud. We will put a gadha and then we will put it, and we will cover it with the mud.
Oh, thank you, Mataji.
Or
Thank
we
you.
can do research and we can put it in Ganga water or any
River. Okay.
any river.
Thank you so much, Mataji. It was such a nice class. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
One question is there in the chat box. If we talk during the mala chanting, Mataji, how do we rectify this? You should not talk. By this only you can rectify. By chanting, we should only chant. We should not talk. If we are chanting, no, then one thing is that we should again start that mala. And whenever there is an interruption while chanting, at least we should chant Panchatattva Pranamantra again. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasati Gaura. At least we should chant. The minimum we can do is chant again and then start chanting. But it will solve only when we stop doing what is not right, right? Unavoidable interruption. Yes, Mataji. Unavoidable interruption. It's better you start from the beginning. Not like that, then at least you should chant Panchatattva Pranamantra before. Like if there is interruption, you should chant Panchatattva Pranamantra before chanting.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
I have a doubt. Like when we accept Mahaprasadam, we get tulsi leaf. So should we swallow it or should we chew it, Mataji? Like
Normal
while
Mataji, we can chew also.
okay, Mataji. Because Tulsi Maharani, I have heard that we should not chew, but sometimes leaves are so big we cannot swallow it. So I was just clarifying.
Yeah, I need to clarify this, Mataji. I'm not very sure, but what I've seen is we can chew it. But I will clarify and like I'll try to bring it in the next class. I'll
Okay,
clarify it also. So much for your appreciation, Mataji. I will clarify this point about you. I'm also not very sure. Any other question?
I don't see any in the chat, Mataji, nor any raised hands. Okay, there is one. Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Danvat Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
माताजी आई हैव क्वेश्चन जो माताजी मेरे को वो वाला क्वेश्चन पूछना है मैं डांसिंग के बारे में समझ नहीं आया
डांसिंग हमें हाथ उठा के करना है हम लोग जब हाथ उठाते हैं तो हम लोग कृष्णा को सरेंडर करते हैं अपने आप को ऐसे ही चैतन्य महाप्रभु ने सिखाया है हम आगे पीछे चलते हैं हाथ उठा के या हम इधर किनारे किनारे चलते हैं हाथ उठा के हम लोग गोल गोल घूमते हैं हाथ उठा के फिर हाथ उठा के डांसिंग करते हैं
ओके माताजी हरे कृष्ण
हरे कृष्ण
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
We can't see any more questions, Mataji.
Okay. Okay, so thank you so much for attending and we will Hare Krishna.
Thank you for the class, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्णा थैंक यू माताजी थैंक यू
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So we will again meet next week and we will discuss the very important topic of how to deal with the Vaishnavas. in receiving guests, how to deal with them. So thank you so much for attending. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Krishna Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji.